Personal MBA coach helped me a lot throughout my application process. I think, first and foremost, just by keeping me on track and giving me a schedule to really kind of guide what I did and when I did it. One of the bigger values of personal MBA coach was just having kind of a sounding board to run ideas by and, be able to talk it out. And by explaining my own story to a third party, find areas that I could really dig into and talk about in my application process. It really made me think about my entire application strategy in a much more intentional way. So I actually did apply to one business school last year unsuccessfully on my own. And the difference between, my individual pursuit of an MBA application strategy compared to the one that I did this year with Personal MBA Coach, they were completely different. I think, having a partner in Personal MBA Coach that understands, everything that goes into an MBA application and understands where you are from the beginning, getting you all set with the basics like honing your resume and thinking through who you want to ask to be a recommender, to being that sounding board through the essay rating process. And then also, after you've hit submit, working with you to hone your story as you want to tell it in an interview. So I think, throughout the entire process, this was a partner that knew what they were doing, had a ton of experience in this field, and were able to ensure that I was taking the right actions at the right time. I think the piece that was most helpful to me was, the ability to practice an interview before I stepped in. I know that especially right before my very first MBA interview, I was incredibly nervous just because I had no idea really what it was going to feel like or be like. And I did a mock interview through Personal MBA Coach, and just having the opportunity to go through the process, knowing that it wasn't a final process, knowing that I could get a feel for that entire interview conversation and then understand how I can improve upon that, that was incredibly useful to me. My overall impression of Personal MBA Coach is very positive. Something that I really liked was that it felt, very personal, as might be insinuated by the name. Everyone that I worked with was incredibly dedicated to understanding my story and who I was as an individual. And so I felt that my true story really came through in everything that I submitted. And I felt like the Personal MBA Coach team was really dedicated to, making sure that I was presenting myself as I am in a way that obviously tells my experience in the best light. So, yeah, that one-on-one attention was really great. I definitely would. I had a very positive experience with them. I think that direct one-to-one vibe is very important, especially with something so personal as MBA applications. And then I also just think they are very helpful for the scheduling, keeping you on track, and making sure that you are able to give yourself the time it takes to really put the thought into a successful MBA application. So I applied to 5 schools and I was accepted at 4 of the 5 with scholarship.